Welcome everybody, welcome to Homestead Heart. And today we are going to be making our very own vermicomposting system, our very own worm bin. So y'all stay tuned. So before we get started, there are a few items that you are going to be needing for your worm bin. The first thing you're going to be needing is a tote. Now I prefer, this is an 18-gallon tote right here with a lid. Now I prefer the 18-gallon tote over the bigger ones because it's easy for me to handle. If I have to handle this by myself, to lift it up to maybe harvest the worm castings, it won't be so heavy that I can't do it if Mr. Homestead Heart is too busy to help me at that time. So this size right here is not too big, it's not too small, it's a good size for me. The next thing you're going to need is a drill, because you're going to have to drill holes. You got to drill a lot of holes in this to provide a good airflow for the worms. You want to make sure they get plenty of oxygen, okay? You're going to need a piece of cardboard. Corrugated is best for this. You're going to need some either dirt from your garden, or in my case, I had some black cow manure, this compost from last season, so I didn't have to buy this. I already had it. But if you don't have any compost lying around in your garden, then just by all means go ahead and get some directly from your garden. Don't use clay, use soil, okay? Big baby. And also you're going to need maybe just a little watering can right here, because you want to make sure that this is moist. And last but not least, the bedding material that I'm going to be using today. This bag of leaves that we composted, or that we put in the bag to compost. So we're going to be using some leaves. Now, if you want to use a different bedding, you can. Jackson and Tamu. Could y'all calm down? Always when I'm making a video. Now, you can use a different type of bedding if you like. Some people use cocoa coir, some people use peat moss, but in using peat moss, you have to be careful. Peat moss is very acidic. So you can use some garden lime to kind of balance that pH so that the worms don't run for their lives, because they will vacate the premises. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're going to need to do is drill a ton of holes inside of your tote. Now, the reason why I drill the holes from the inside, you see how smooth that is on the inside? That's because the drill pushed the plastic out. I didn't want to have kind of sharp edges on the inside. I didn't want that to damage the worms, so I pushed them out. And sure enough, we got these little rough pieces right here, but that's okay. That's okay, it's on the outside. So I drilled from the inside out just to protect the worms. Let's get the holes drilled around the top so we can get some airflow. Now we have to do the top. Okay, so as you saw, there was no mathematical equation involved with just putting holes in. I just put holes everywhere in the lid to make sure they got plenty of air, and around the sides. And I stayed above the top here. I didn't drill here on the sides because I don't want, as the bedding comes up in the bin. I don't want the worms to be able to come out. So as the bedding gets to about right here, just under this lip, then I'll be ready, or the worm castings get just up under this lip, then I'll be ready to harvest. But I don't want to bring it all the way up here so that my worms will think this is another little area for them to come out and explore. So, and then I have the holes around the bottom to allow for the liquid to leach out of the bottom. Now we're going to add our bedding. So now the next thing I'm going to do is add in some of these leaves. These leaves have been in this bag, so they're kind of moist. So I'm putting just a few in here. Now what I'm going to do is take my scoop with my manure, with my compost, and I'm just going to sprinkle it in. Just sprinkle it in. Not even a lot. Just a little. And I'm going to even mix it in there. Gonna add some more. And my bedding is a good 3 inches thick from the bottom. A good 3 inches thick. So I'm gonna put just a little bit more right here over the top. Then I'm gonna take some more of the compost and sprinkle it over. This is gonna make for some happy worms right here. I'm gonna bust up these clumps, and I'm just gonna take that piece of corrugated cardboard, just like so. As you can see, it's nice and moist already. But what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of water to this. I don't want that cardboard to be dry. So I add just a little bit of water to it. And that's it. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to lay it over the top of my leaves in the bedding. That's it. I'm going to lay it over the top of the leaves. So now that we have our bin completed, I am going to let this bin sit for about a week. I really want this to become the perfect environment for our little composting worms. So this is going to sit under this cardboard here with just the leaves and then a little bit of compost in here as well. So what I'll do is I'm going to even add just a little bit of coffee grounds to just one little area of this, not a lot, because I don't want it to become all moldy. So I'm going to add just a little bit of coffee grounds to this and leave it covered under this cardboard until the worms arrive. And this is going to be like this for at least 7 days, if not longer, a little bit longer, maybe 10 days. But it'll stay like this, and it'll stay under the cover with the holes, making sure that I don't have any plastic pieces. Yeah, got a couple of them attached here, and I'm going to pull them off. Don't want those falling down into the worm bin. Not at all. Okay, so I'm going to get this on the lid, and that's going to complete our worm bin. And look at that. Again, this was all for less than the cost of a bag of worm casting. I think at our local Tractor Supply, a bag of worm castings that's like a pound or 2 pounds or something like that is almost $10. So that's a lot for worm castings. And if you are a gardener, you know how important worm castings are to your garden. So I can't tell you, I'm making my own little bin for less than the cost of the worm castings. But I'll come back in another video, and once we get the worms, and show you the worms, show you how we get them added, and we'll even go over where we got them from. Okay, so y'all stay tuned for that. We are making our own little vermicomposting setup. These will be placed inside, and I'm going to put them in our garage, and or in that room that used to be a garage. I'm going to put them inside, and again, underneath the bottom, I have a really big white lid that came from over a tote that I got free from Dollar General because they were throwing them away anyway. So I'm going to take those lids and put them underneath, just one underneath, and that'll catch all of the liquid that drains out of these totes. So again, these are going to sit for 7 days, and that's going to do it. That's going to do it. So I hope this video helped you out in any kind of way. I hope that you found it informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share this content with others whom you think might enjoy what we offer on our channel. We would certainly appreciate that support. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that we upload to our channel. So that's going to do it, you all. Thank you all so much for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every last one of you, and we'll see you in the next video.